Teamwork. Teamwork is born when a group of people cooperate and work together to achieve certain common goals and share the rewards. Students, particularly adolescents, who learn to work in teams, make significant social and emotional gains, for they find themselves much better equipped in handling such problems as an unclear sight of objectives, fostering self-doubts and feeling a sense of isolation. Team workers also find it much easier to develop emotional maturity in coping with their relationships and in getting their jobs done more efficiently. Teamwork divides the task and multiplies the performance. It was their summer vacation, and Sankalp and his friends did odd jobs to augment their pocket allowance, delivering newspapers, waiting at fast food joints, washing cars, selling lemonade, delivering pizzas. Working individually, they did earn some money but not enough to pool sufficient money to fund their dream holiday at a hill resort in the lower Himalayas. Then an opportunity presented itself, and the four of them teamed up to tackle a job which became their part-time profession, and soon they had enough money to realize their dream. Here's how.
It's no use.
Despaired Sankalp.
We have worked for almost a month now and what we have collected is a mere 1,000 rupees.
Anuj shrugged resignedly.
What can we do? We have our daily expenses to meet.
He rued.
This is all we could save.
Neeraj looked at his friends.
Listen, I have some news for you.
He confided.
Mr. Mathur, our local cooperator, needs his lawns and garden to be done up. It's his daughter's wedding next week. Shall we go and offer our services? He'll pay us well.
Are you crazy?
Pankaj objected.
Those grounds are 5 acres at the least. How will we finish the task in a couple of days?
Sankalp took the lead.
We'll find a way, I'm sure.
He reasoned.
And don't forget, we'll get more money in a very short time.
The four of them argued and reasoned. A decision was reached and Sankalp accompanied Neeraj to close the deal with Mr. Mathur.
I'll pay you 2,000 rupees, but I need the job completed in 2 days' time.
He said, a note of warning in his stentorian voice. It was dawn the next day and the four of them were surveying their task. Roughly 4 acres of lush lawns and numerous long rows of flower beds lay before them.
Neeraj, you and Pankaj begin with the lawns. One would operate the mower and the other would rake the cut grass into baskets. I will empty the baskets in the compost pit.
He was organizing his resources optimally.
Anuj, you start with the weeding in the flower beds. Do 1 row at a time. We'll rotate our duties every 2 hours, so that none of us is overburdened and none let off easy.
He announced. They set to work and exchanged tasks at intervals. It was lunchtime and as Sankalp stood back to assess their work, he had a feeling that Anuj was lagging behind in his assignment. There were 20 rows of flower beds, 10 on either side of the long driveway from the gates to the portico. And Anuj had been able to weed just 3 rows. That would mean only 12 rows in 2 days, at this rate.
Neeraj, you are quicker with your fingers, while Anuj is much more well-built than you. You two exchange your jobs from now on. Anuj, you take the mower and Neeraj, you do the weeding.
They egged each other on, took up the load when one of them rested, never ridiculed others' weaknesses, and were a source of strength to one another. Marshalling their resources carefully and working smoothly as a team, they were able to do the lawns and flower beds in 2 days and had a few hours to spare.
Let's cover the compost pit and throw in the added service of tidying up the driveway.
Sankalp declared. By 6 o'clock in the evening they had finished.
You've done a good job, I must say.
Smiled Mr. Mathur with satisfaction.
Here, this is doing my part of the deal.
he said, handing over a wad of bills to Sankalp.
Why? There are 2,500 rupees here.
He exclaimed with surprise.
We had decided on 2,000 only.
Keep the money.
Mr. Mathur said expansively.
You all deserve it. And to tell you the truth, I never expected you to finish the job in 2 days' time.
He revealed.
But you've not only finished the job in time, but also have done it perfectly, and to top it all, I have my driveway cleaned as well.
The boys were elated.
You just had a lesson in teamwork.
Sankalp later remarked happily. A few days later, they did another property, and then another. By the end of 2 weeks, Sankalp sat with his team.
We have just over 10,000 rupees with us.
He announced. There were shouts of glee and the friends hugged each other with joy. Sankalp and his friends could have their dream holiday at Nainital, after all.